What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing. I just finished up watching Janibek Alimkhanuly versus Denzel Bentley, and this was a 12-rounder for the WBO Middleweight World Championship, and this fight was Saturday, November 12th, from the Palms Casino Resort in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this fight was broadcasted on ESPN, ESPN Plus, or on the ESPN app, and in this fight, Janibek sort of got exposed despite winning a unanimous decision. I mean, he did show a lot of flaws in this fight. I personally scored it 117 to 111 in favor of Alimkhanuly. The three judges scored this bout 116 to 112 twice and 118 to 110 once, all in Janibek's favor. So, obviously my scorecard might look a bit wide, but I could definitely see this fight being 7 to 5, 8 to 4, somewhere around there, because there was a few swing rounds that were in favor of Janibek that could have definitely went in favor of Bentley. So just to break this fight down round by round, I mean, really the first 5 rounds were pretty dominant and clear for Janibek. He was just much more active. Bentley wasn't really doing much. He was backing up, getting hit, not really putting in much offense in the fight. And Janibek was winning the first 5 rounds pretty clearly, in my opinion. Then, like around the second half of the fight, the 6th round is where it all started. Bentley started to have some nice counters. He started to land some good shots on Janibek coming forward, so I gave him the 6th round. Round 7, this was one of the swing rounds. I did give this one to Janibek, but it could have went either way. Both of them were actually exchanging a bit in the center of the ring. It was a competitive round, but I thought that the more eye-catching shots slightly were in favor of Janibek. But then in round number 8, there were some solid shots from Bentley. It was an overall very good round. Both of them were coming forward again. Janibek, his trainer, Buddy McGirt, was urging him to come forward and press Bentley, but Bentley was pressing Janibek in that 8th round, so I gave Bentley that 8th round. Then in round number 9, I also gave Bentley the round because he came forward with much more thudding shots. Janibek didn't really have much to come back with, and Bentley won that round pretty clearly. Then in round 10, this was another swing round that could have went either way. Yeah, I mean, really, there were a lot of close rounds in this fight. I'm going to be 100% honest. So yeah, in the 10th round, Janibek had the slightly bigger shots, but I mean, really, Denzel Bentley was there that whole round with him trading, and I believe he actually did outland Janibek in that 10th round, but still, I thought that a bit more of the eye-catching shots were from Janibek. Then in round number 11, it was a very fun round. Both of them were exchanging, but this was, I think, another very close round that could have went either way, but this one was much more, I guess you could say, clear for Janibek compared to those other close rounds, but this one is definitely in the question for which way could it go. But yeah, I thought that Janibek had the much more solid shots, I guess you could say, and his body language looked a bit better in that 11th round. But then around number 12, this was a very big round for Janibek in closing the fight. He was able to wobble Denzel Bentley early with a big left hand and just walked him down throughout the entire round and won that round clearly. So I mean, even though Janibek won this fight, I mean, he was known as the boogeyman in the middleweight division. He made Demetrius Andrade move up in weight and not fight him. I mean, really, he was being seen in my eyes and many other people's eyes in boxing as one of the rising stars. But through this fight, I mean, Denzel Bentley, even though he put up a great effort, showed great heart, and I'm sure he's a great guy, I mean, Denzel Bentley's not really that great of a level fighter. He's really relatively, I would say, around a British level fighter, despite his BoxRec ranking being, I believe BoxRec has him around like top 20, maybe even a little bit higher, but I don't think he's around there. I think he could actually be a little bit worse. But after this fight, I don't know, I guess you could say he's around that level. But a fighter like Janibek, he should have been able to easily defeat a guy like Denzel Bentley, who Felix Cash stopped in 3 rounds. And if you actually watch this fight, comment down below how you scored it and how you view Janibek after this fight. So this goes into the question, what is next for Janibek Alimkhanuly? So, I mean, he has a lot of options, being that, obviously, just crowned WBO champ. There's a lot of solid guys in the WBO that he could fight, and I actually made a list of guys that he could fight. One fighter that he has a great chance of fighting is Esquiva Falcao. I definitely think that could possibly happen because Falcao has fought in Top Rank before, and I definitely think they could give him that opportunity. Another fighter that he could fight is Merim Nursultanov, who's a high-ranked WBO contender. I believe he is from Russia, but yeah, he's a very solid fighter from what I've seen of him and on his resume and whatnot. But I think Janibek should be able to beat him. And another fighter that Janibek could face is Felix Cash, who was the man that did stop Bentley in 3 rounds. So that could be a very interesting fight as well. And two other names that are pretty slim in Janibek for possibly fighting are Chris Eubank Jr., who's, I believe, one of the top 3 or 4 WBO contenders in the middleweight division. Or it could be Jaime Munguia, who's the number 1 contender. Like, let's say the WBO could order that fight, being that Munguia is the number 1, but Munguia is facing a basic. I'm just gonna. I hate to say it bluntly, but Munguia is really facing a bum next weekend. So he should be able to easily get past him, and then I think that they could possibly order that fight, being that he is the number 1 contender in the WBO. But as for Denzel Bentley, I mean, really, he did put on a great performance considering he was really picked by many to get stopped somewhere around the middle to early rounds in this fight, like I thought, somewhere around the middle rounds. But I think he's going to go back to the UK, fight some pretty decent level UK fighters, maybe get a European title shot before maybe getting called up for another like big fight on a big card like this. So overall, Janibek Alimkhanuly sort of gets a little exposed in this one, not really fighting to the best of his ability that people would have thought, as he got a pretty lackluster unanimous decision victory over Denzel Bentley to defend his WBO title for the first time. But nonetheless, even though it wasn't the greatest performance from Alimkhanuly, it was still a very fun fight to watch and a very fun fight to score, being that both of them were trading very good shots. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.